Your calendar is a graveyard. It is where your hopes and dreams go to die. By a graveyard, I mean you write down your plans and then you don't do them. They're just dead plans. They're full. Your calendar, your planner is just full of tasks that you are not planning on doing. You're planning on doing them, but when it's time to actually doing them, you're not executing them. So then your planner just ends up being a calendar of dead plans, of dead tasks, of dead dreams. So what you do is that you make a plan, you write it down, you do all the steps that you need to do, what you've been told that you need to do in order that's going to help you actually execute. And then what do you choose to do in the end once the time actually comes to needing to follow through? You scroll on your phone, take a nap, or choose to waste your time in a way that's not productive at all. However, there's a version of you out there that actually follows through with what you said. You actually write down meaningful tasks that you are actually willing to commit to. You're actually setting up a system that helps you become more efficient, that helps you actually just go and get things done, and to stop procrastinating. So I went from someone who took 10 years to grow her YouTube channel to 2,000 subscribers because she was so inconsistent and so just not disciplined enough to have a consistent uploading schedule, to now having a brand new channel, growing my YouTube channel, and actually getting to a point where now I'm getting sent products, now I'm getting sent to content creator events, now getting brand deals. Like, the change of where I was to where I'm at now is huge. And the thing is that I don't even have 1,000 subscribers, and that YouTube channel had 2,000 subscribers. So it just goes to show what hard work and discipline can actually do for you, versus just writing things down here and there and uploading whenever you felt like it. So today I want to teach you that. I want to teach you what I learned. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you on actually how to stop procrastinating and how to actually follow through on the plans that you put on your planner. Hi, my name is Geraldine. I make videos all about goal setting, productivity, and procrastination. So if that's the type of content you love to consume, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Also click the notification bell so you do know when I do upload, and follow me on all my social media. I'm at Geraldine Silva. Also, if your calendar is full of dead plans and you need accountability, structure, and a good system in your life, please consider joining the accountability membership group that I am launching called the Studio of Self, where we are learning, where you are going to be taught all the things about discipline, goal setting, productivity, and just finally getting down to actually having a system and how to actually achieve your goals. I am launching this accountability group very, very soon during the summer, so if you want in, please consider joining. The link to it will be down in the description below and down in the pinned comments. So what you will be getting is a one-on-one accountability partner. So this is your partner in crime, and she's going to be the person that's going to help you go from A to Z, while also getting support by the whole group, where we will be meeting bi-weekly, so twice a month, every other week. We will be meeting with each other. Bi-weekly, so every other week we're getting together, talking all things goals and talking all things progress and how to get you from point A to point Z. You'll also get a 6-week course training on how to actually go from the planning stage to the executing stage, and you're going to get all of this while also getting to learn how to create structure, create system, and create a community for yourself. So if you want in on an incredible deal and want to learn more about this deal, everything will be linked down in the description below. You get to sign up for the waiting list. The waiting list will only have 6 limited spots for the founding members. Once those slots are filled, the door will close and won't open again until a few months later. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on this video. So number 1, why put more on your plate when you're already doing less? So what ends up happening is that people end up filling their plate with more things to do rather than actually committing to less. Because if you are somebody who is procrastinating and just can't even commit to getting up and folding your clothes, why do you think that you can also fold your clothes, begin a whole new skincare ritual, go to the gym, become more organized, and declutter your closet all in one day? Like, stop filling up your plate with things to do when you can't even do less than that. So when I went from someone who procrastinated to someone who actually started taking action, I learned this very quickly because I was committing to so goddamn much. Okay, I'm a full-time, had my full-time career, I had a relationship, I had I have two kids, and they had sports, and I was putting I started trying to launch a business, and like there was so much I was just filling up my plate with. I was trying to go to the gym all at the same time. I was launching this YouTube channel. Like, it was so much on my plate that I just couldn't keep up with it. And I just caught myself just feeling overwhelmed, stressed, and wanting to procrastinate everything. And everything literally started falling apart because I couldn't keep up with everything. Quickly, I learned that less is more. So now, going into this whole new YouTube channel, I took the mistakes that I learned from my last YouTube channel and into this one, and I was like, okay, what mistakes have I made? What wasn't working? And what wasn't working was that I don't have the capability to multitask. I don't have the capability to do too many things all at the same time. I'm either going to have to focus on one thing and one thing only and get really good at it before I even get the chance to look at something else. So you need to find the sweet middle ground for your life. And what my system is, okay, this is my simple system to stop procrastinating. My simple system was to keep it at 3. So 2 non-negotiables and 1 priority. What does this mean, Geraldine? What isn't non-negotiables and priorities the same thing? No, it's not. So non-negotiables are things that you cannot compromise. They're not flexible. You can't change. They will always come first over everything else. These are things that are just stuck solid and can't change in your planner, can't change in your day-to-day living, right? These things look like work. They look like family responsibilities. They look like, having kids. Whatever the case, these are just non-negotiables. These things are always set in stone and will always happen at this time. Priorities are things that are flexible, things that you can work around and see when you can make fit, right? Because, give you an example. So, for example, my job and my kids are my non-negotiables, right? I go into work at a certain time and I come out of work at a certain time. My kids are awake I only spend a certain amount of time with my kids every single day, Monday through Friday, right? We're not counting the weekends. Monday through Friday, I only get a certain amount of time with my kids. And then that, after they go to bed, that leaves me a certain amount of time for me to figure out what can I prioritize. What can I do with this time? So if you look at it in a percentage, right? Going to work takes about maybe 50% of my day. From the time that I wake up to getting ready to work to the time that I'm driving back home and getting home and, unpacking everything. Then it's like maybe 40% of me hanging out with my kids from the time that I start, from the time that I walk through that door to the time they go to bed. It's maybe 40% of my day. The last 20% is whatever I want. I can either prioritize, right? Sleep, TikTok, my business, YouTube, talking on the phone with a friend. Like, that is my time to prioritize whatever I feel like. But my non-negotiables is I have to go to work. Okay, I have to make sure that I go to work, because if not, there are real consequences. I have to make sure that my kids are being fed and not being neglected, because bad things can happen. Me missing a few hours of sleep, is that really, if I go to sleep an hour later, or if I wake up an hour earlier, is that really going to mess up my entire life? No, not really. Oh, it is me prioritizing taking a shower over scrolling on TikTok or over talking to my mom over something. It's a lot more flexible, and the prioritization kind of changes day by day based upon what you want to do, right? So if you want to set up your system, it has to be that way, where you have 2 non-negotiables and 1 priority. And that is how you're going to set up your daily routine, okay, from Monday through Friday if you are a working 9-to-5 person. You can also make this shift into whatever schedule that you currently have, but to keep it simple, from a 9-to-5 person, think of your work is obviously a non-negotiable. You have to go to work, right? It's just, it is what it is. And if you have kids, you know, obviously another non-negotiable. Like, you have to make sure your kids are okay. Now, if you don't have kids, then that's where you can kind of be more flexible with yourself of like, okay, so I have a lot more time to have more priorities than I do non-negotiables, depending on your life, right? Whatever you consider a non-negotiable. So how do you set your system up? So number 2, how do you set your system up? So you got to identify your priorities, and you got to identify your non-negotiables. These are things that are going to be on your planner on a daily basis, okay? I recommend only having about 2 to 3 non-negotiables, again, because we don't want to fill up our plate, because our plate is already small as it is. There's only so many hours in a day, and your non-negotiables are going to take up the bulk of your day. So I only recommend having 2 to 3 non-negotiables. And then your other thing is having at least 1 priority. 1 priority meaning your 1 goal that you're trying to accomplish. This priority is going to stump everything else. You're going to prioritize your goals over maybe an hour of sleep. You're going to prioritize your goals over going out and getting a drink with your friend. Your goals are going to prioritize over you, whatever it is, right? Whatever thing that's happening, you're going to prioritize that. Whatever time you have left over after your non-negotiables, you can prioritize that with whatever you want. But that is how I set myself up for success. Non-negotiables are going to take up the bulk of your day. It's going to take up maybe from 50 to 70% of your day, whatever your non-negotiables is, whether you only have 1, you have 2, or you have 3. It's going to take up around 50 to 70% of your day. Because if you time block your entire day, you're going to see you only have a certain amount of hours in a day for yourself on the weekdays. On the weekends, it's free game for everybody. But on the weekdays, that is how much time you have for yourself. Maybe 10%. But 10% is all you really need. You only need 1 hour to go to the gym. You only really need 1 hour to work on a book, or on an Instagram post, or on a TikTok, on whatever, right? During the week. On the weekends, I bulk film. So I'm filming back to back to back. I have more free time on my weekends to do this, but again, it's a priority. So I'm not going to work. There's no non-negotiables. It's free reign for everybody. There is the power of 1. I love for procrastinating, because this is the one thing that I'm just like very proud of myself for doing and for figuring out, because I couldn't figure it out before as to why I couldn't stop procrastinating. And it's because, again, we equate productivity with more things to do, when in reality productivity means focusing on 1, the power of 1. So when people make goals for the beginning of the year, right, they have elaborate goals of career, health, relationships, family, spiritual, whatever, blah, 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 blah. They list and list and list and list goals. Endless goals of things that they want to accomplish. In reality, in our actual day-to-day life, I'm not talking about special people who have freedom to do whatever they feel like with their time. Those of us who actually have a 9-to-5 working job, those of us who actually have families, those of us who actually have kids. It is so hard to make even one thing happen, 1 chore done, 1 meal to eat comfortably, right? It is so hard to do. So at the end of the day, you're always getting home drained, needing to recover, and you're never actually fully recovered, because you're on, right? Your non-negotiables are on, all the way up until you get to finally put your kids down for bed, or you finally get to lay down on your bed. I let this be the one video to tell you that one thing, focusing on 1 singular goal and getting that 1 goal done is okay. I am only focusing on one thing and one thing only, and that's getting this YouTube channel taken off, okay, to reach its goals. That is all I am focusing on, because I just don't have the time, I don't have the bandwidth, I don't have the energy, I don't have the attention span to do more than what I'm doing right now. Because when you think about goals, it's not just that singular goal. It's not just, I'm going to go to the gym. It's, I need to cut off sugar. I need to start tracking my calories. I need to start weighing myself. I need to think of my workout routines. What am I doing every single week? I need to count the grams of protein and the grams of fiber. Like, there's so many habits that take up what accomplishing one goal is. My YouTube channel, it takes so much time for me to script, to find YouTube titles, to figure out the packaging for it, to actually scripting these videos and researching, to actually filming this, to actually editing this, to actually getting it uploaded only for 60 people to freaking watch it. Okay? It takes so much of my time, my 10% day. It takes up so much of my 10% day and 10% energy. But again, it's just the power of one. Once you get that one thing done, you are accomplished, you are through, and that is it. You can move on with your day. But again, we go online and we see these people with waking with their morning routines of journaling, meditating, freaking stretching, and doing yoga and going to the gym. Like, we get so caught up in someone else's world that we don't understand, that we can't see it as one size fits all, okay? We are all different sizes. We all live different lives. We all have different priorities and different responsibilities. It's not a one size fits all. It's what can you do today that's going to just help you get one step closer. And it's not doing a million things. It's just the power of one. Just getting one thing done for your goals. Whatever your goal is going to be, right? Number 3, how to follow up on your simple plan. So it's not just setting up the system, it's actually following through with it, right? And that's the problem with procrastination, is that you just have a follow through problem. Because you'll make the plans, you just don't know how to actually take action on it. So how do you do that? So the following through problem, the following up is the hard part. Following up on what you have said that you were going to do. It's so hard to do the follow-up. This is the accountability portion. So you either can be independent and show up every single day when you have to, or you will just continue to crumble back into your comfort zone, and your comfort zone being on your phone, your comfort zone being on whatever. So how do you stay accountable and follow through? I put the phone down long enough to realize what's happening in my life. I put the phone down long enough for me to realize the life I'm actually living is not the life that I want to attend every single day. I put the phone down long enough. And I start to recognize what matters more. That is going to hit you harder than anything else. When you learn to be independent and learn to take accountability and actually reflect on the actions that you're currently taking and how it's affecting the current life that you're currently living, that is a power that no one is able to take away. That is the accountability no one is ever able to just whip out of you. Because you are the only one living it, you are the only one going through it. No one else is going to understand, no one else is going to care, no one else is going to come to save you. So I put the phone down long enough to stop escaping my reality, start recognizing what actually matters more. And it's not me being on my phone, it's not me fighting with people online, it's not me freaking commenting on TikToks or anything. It's me actually getting to a point where I feel happy with the numbers of subscribers, me happy with the fact that my membership group is excited to log on for our bi-weekly meetings. Like, I have so many more things that I could be happy about, and being on my phone is not what matters. It's what am I going to do with my life? What am I going to produce that will actually make my life worthwhile? So, a bit of a recap, because I know this was a long video. Number one, why put more on your plate when you already do less? Why are you committing to more than what, when you're not even committing to the little stuff that you do have? It's just never makes sense to me. So, less is more. Stop filling your plate. Stop thinking that you need to do all of these things when you really, really don't. Number two, how to set up your system is to recognize what is your non-negotiables, recognize what is your priority, and understand that your non-negotiables are going to take up bulk of your day, and your priority is only going to be about 10 to 20% of your day. And you got to figure out what matters. Out of everything that you have to do, what matters the most in that moment, because seasons can change. Seasons can change. So number three is how to follow up on your simple plan. You put the phone down long enough to realize that this is not the life that you want to keep living. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Also, click the notification bell so you do know when I do upload, and follow me on all my social media. I am at Geraldine Sava. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.